What's up guys, Jack here, and we're getting straight into this video. We have a DPI and GT race. This is the sprint race from P1R that we did on Sunday night. This race had some crazy battles with the draft and the aero wash. It was really difficult for the lead car to pull away or really make any ground. Even if there is a difference in lap time, it was very difficult to pull away. So you can see we already have Grim making a move on the outside, and Kalos is going to get a big draft and take it 3 wide on the first lap. Already 5 cars tight in a pack. Kalos is going to come across a little bit of contact with Grim right there, but we're going to maintain second place. We started on the pole, but we dropped down 1 position. Right now, I'm feeling really confident in my setup. I really put some time into making this car drive really how I wanted it to, and I had maximum confidence as we're going to go all the way around the outside, and already we're going to make a move, but he blocks us off a little bit there as Turk goes for a move around the outside. So now we've had 4 different cars leading in 1 lap. So that is lap 1 done. We're going to make an inside move on Kalos right there, but we didn't have enough of the grunt as we are right behind him going into the corner. We're going to try and see if we can get around on the outside, make a last-minute move on the inside, and we're able to go on the inside as he pushes a little bit up. So now it's just depending who gets that draft off of Turk to get in front, as we have a little bit of contact as Kalos lines up behind us. And we're in behind Turk, and we're going to try and make a move on him as Kalos goes to the outside again. So we are going to be going 3 wide for the lead on the 2nd lap in a row. We have the inside line here. Kalos has the outside. He's going to have a good turn in for this, but we're going to get a really good run on that corner, and we're going to maybe be able to make the move on the inside. All we have to do is just be able to hold it, but he gets a good run on the outside, and we're going to have to sweep it on the outside again, but I'm feeling confident in this car, and nice and done. Oh, we get chopped a little bit on the nose, and oh no, Turk. Oh no, Turk. Turk had wasn't expecting the bog up from the contact that Kalos and I had, and Turk ends up getting spun around with the unexpected speed difference. So unfortunate for Turk, as he has a lot of ground to make up, and this race is only 15 minutes long. It is a timed race. So now we are battling with Kalos as we still have Grim and Artina right behind us. It's a tight race already. Kalos has got the draft. I'm going to try and hold a middle line here to try and make him guess or maybe make a mistake behind me, but it's not really much I can do. The Acura does have a little bit of a top speed advantage, but in the draft, it's going to be tough to hold the spot either way. The Cadillac can draft back by the Acura as well, so we're going to try and hold the outside line. We get plenty of room right there from the inside. Try and hold the outside line again, and we just don't have any grip out there, and we cannot turn in. I got a little bit too much on the curb. Are we going to try and make it around the outside again? Well, I kind of want to, but no, that move is not on, as Grim makes a little bit of a move on the inside, but we go back around the outside, and we are going to pass Kalos again, but he's got the draft, and he's right on us as we almost make a little bit of contact there. I think we did make a little bit of contact, almost got the wall, but we're all good. We saved it. Kalos is going to make that inside move into turn 1 again, and there's Grim right behind in the Orica. So we have the DPI, the Acura, and the Orica has a little bit of contact. As I open my eyes, I think I have a chance to maybe get away with the draft, but no can do. This time the draft is still there. They're still there. I'm trying everything I can to get away from these guys, but so far it is not working. Now, what I'm hoping for is to be the first DPI to hit the GT traffic. That's what we are all fighting for right now. If you are not the first GT or DP car to hit that GT traffic, you are probably going to lose a lot of time, because that first place car is going to be able to put 1 or 2 cars between you. You are going to lose that draft, and then you're going to be stuck with the rest of the pack in the aero wash. So that's our big goal right now, as we have a 4-car DPI pack making our way through. We're catching up to the GT cars. As you can see, there was one there turning into turn 1. So we're not far away from getting into that traffic, and as we're calming down a little bit here, we got a little bit of a gap. This race is the sprint race. It is 15 minutes long, and it is followed by a much longer 55-minute endurance race. So that's what the base is for this. It's a reverse grid, so once we finish this race, the order will be inverted. But back to this, Kalos is going to get a huge draft on us, and probably he's going to be able to pull alongside by the end of the straight. Now, I have this tune, and I have it shared for the builds we are using. One thing to note about these cars, they are very, very fast with very specific aero. So I'm running full front and full rear downforce at Hakone. This track is a draft track, definitely, but every single time we took aero off of these cars to try and get that top speed advantage, we went slower. I don't know why that is. It's definitely the case with the Cadillac and the Acura. Maybe the Orica's a little bit different, especially since they've updated it, but if you take aero off this Cadillac, it is not as fast. It is just not as fast, which is very, very interesting about the way this car is being run. So once again, we have Kalos right on the rear of us as we're trying to catch up to that GT traffic, and then maybe we can make some gaps, but I'm pushing as hard as I can. But with the aero wash, it is still in the game. It's nowhere near the levels it used to be. It's now pretty manageable to keep the car on track, but you're definitely the slower car if you are leading. So right there, Kalos made the move pretty early, so I'm trying to get back in the draft and maybe make a pass back around him. That's one thing you do have to keep an eye out for, is if you make that pass too early at Hakone, they're going to be able to draft back by you. A good example of what that would look like is the 24 Hours of Le Mans on that restart when the Cadillac passed the Porsche and then got drafted by 4 more cars before the straight ended. You don't want to be the first one to make that run. You want to make sure you have the more momentum towards the end of that straight. So that's what we're currently fighting for. As we see our GT car, the traffic is there. We're going to catch him in this lap. So now we're super, super excited because I like multi-class racing. It's my passion. And this Cadillac DPI is one of the few cars I really, really enjoy driving in this game on a controller. So I've been having fun with this. And tomorrow night, Friday, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be hosting this exact same race for an endurance. And right there, we split the GT car. Kalos still has the draft. We still have all of this traffic up ahead of us. We're trying to side draft Kalos right now. If you keep the side of your car, if you keep really close to the car next to you, you can actually get a little bit of the draft from that car and it'll pull you along. So it's faster to side draft as we make that diving move up the BMW. But we have 3 cars in this flat out corner. Kalos and the Orica behind are just being a little bit cautious with us as we have a little bit of contact with that Corvette. But we're going to be able to pass the other 2 GT cars and we get that gap that I have been looking for. So now we have draft on this GT car, and the DPIs behind us are about to fall out of our draft zone, which is huge for us because we finally get that little bit of breathing space. We really needed to take this race away because we qualified on pole. We had a little bit of a margin, so I was confident if I could get out of their draft, I was going to be able to fully pull away and get a good result here in this race. So right now, I'm just focusing on making sure I get really good lines to the traffic. I don't want to get unlucky with where I'm catching them. I don't want to bring them back into the race. I actually had one small little penalty. I think it was like half a second. I went wide right here in this corner earlier in the race, and unfortunately I got a penalty. As we make our way around this Mercedes here, as one of the GT cars nearly gets thrown off in that chaos back there. But we're going to keep making our way through the traffic. And right here we have Bunter, and we're gonna kind of split these 2 cars. There's 2 there's 2 C8s right here. We're just gonna kind of hop in the middle of them and pop back out. We don't want to ruin any of the GT guys' races trying to be over ambitious. So right now we're getting a huge draft. And one thing you need to remember in multi-class, because I didn't remember it right here, the GT cars can also give you the aero wash. So me turning in there, I had a really, really bad turn 1, and as you can see, there's an Orica right behind me. So again, I'm struggling to get away from these cars. I'm trying as hard as I can to get out of that draft, but right now he's still in that little draft bubble. I just got to really nail this next section of corners, and I could maybe escape, but it's going to really be difficult. So we're still running in first here. We have Grim in second and Kalos in third, and yeah, that was scary. Don't want to get a second penalty. I got a warning for that one, which, whew, that would have been bad because of that draft. If they were able to pull back inside that draft, it would have been an issue for me. Now, the way the races end in timed races in Forza is a little bit annoying because this is the same way that every Forza has ended, and it's very frustrating that they still haven't fixed this. The races are 15 minutes exactly. So the second 15 minutes ends, everyone just freezes and that's where your position is. That's not how endurance races work. Once you cross the line, the next lap, that the time will be 0 seconds, that is the white flag lap. So if you cross the line and there's 35 seconds remaining on the clock, that would be the white flag lap, as that you wouldn't come around another time with time still on the clock. So it's very unfortunate that still to this day, Forza Motorsport and Turn 10 haven't addressed that as a fix, but they're working on some stuff. Hopefully it gets better. So as you can see, now that I have this gap between first and second, they're still arrow washing each other. I am now probably going to be able to run, honestly, about a second to a second and a half faster than those guys behind me, because all they're going to be doing, even though they can draft off of each other, is slowing each other down in the corners. So right now, open traffic, clean air, I'm just going to be able to pull away without really any drama. All I have to do is just hit nice smooth lines. Don't really worry about what's behind me, because those guys are going to be battling super hard, and they're just going to keep slowing each other down, which is to the benefit of me, which I don't mind. They can keep battling and having fun. So now that we have the GT traffic cleared, we're not actually going to be able to catch them again before the race ends. So right now it's just who can put the best lap times down, and you can see Grim right behind does have some clean air. We did have the lap time advantage over him in qualifying, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to continue pulling. One thing to note with the Orca is we're testing it out right now, is when they changed the Orca so it would be better balanced for the P2 hoppers, they changed all of the values on the car. So it no longer has the same minimum downforce that it used to have. Those aero numbers are actually less, which I'm going to be honest, I feel like it definitely hurts the car. So that is a bit of a shame that ended up happening. But it, you know, they try to fix one thing and unintended consequences. So hopefully they get their act sorted out and we get a little bit more comprehensive thing. But these cars on this track is absolutely fun. So if you guys are interested, again, Friday 7 p.m. Eastern, doing a multi-class race. So with these exact cars on this track, but it's going to be a little bit longer. So if you guys want to come out for that, please join the Discord, hop on in, you'll have a blast. So right now we pop back to Turk, who had his issues on lap 1. We're going to watch the battle out here. We're just going to have a little fun watching Turk try and get to this position, because he has about 1 minute and 50 seconds left to get by him because of the way the race works. So it doesn't matter if you are ahead on the line or anything like that. It's just you have to be ahead when that timer hits 0, which can create some very interesting results, because if there's a brake zone, you really shouldn't brake anymore, because that's going to affect your time. Like, I don't know if the game will let you completely cut track. Like, if you went to the Nürburgring and you had like 2 seconds left and you went over the jump instead of the S's, if the penalty didn't calculate before the timer hit 0, does it still calculate? As we have Turk making a move around the outside, I definitely think Turk was a little frustrated with this race, because, I mean, it was a little unfortunate. Kalos and I had a little contact in front of him, and it just bogged him up, and he got spun. So hopefully Turk races in the prototypes with me tomorrow, so we can have a little rematch and have a little bit of fun. Yes, I'm calling you out, Turk. Come back and race. So we're going to finish up this race here pretty shortly as Turk finishes that pass, but the Acura makes another move back up the inside, so Turk has all that work to do again. It is very difficult to race in this, but it's something that Forza did that does make the racing very close. It is a little bit artificial, and some people still have some strong opinions on it, but overall it does make the racing close. So it's very difficult to pull away. If you can get that gap initially like I did once we finished that GT traffic, then you don't really have too much to worry about. You're going to be able to pull away. So right now we're closing in on the final seconds of this race. These guys are neck and neck. They are pushing as hard as they can, and it's literally going to come down to just an instant end. So thank you guys for watching. Let's see if Turk's going to be able to make this move before the timer ends and Turk is going to finish in